today on 2+U Nevada.
We just became the first furniture bank in the state of Nevada. So in 2.5 years, we have gone from being in my garage, which my husband kicked me out of not long after we started, to having a 5,000 square foot facility in South Reno.
The amazing story of paying it forward. How the founder and executive director of Got You Reno is using one of her most humbling moments as a single mom to now help hundreds in our community.
In 1983, we started it in our garage, which the neighbors didn't appreciate.
The amazing history of Reno's animal artistry, how art inspires taxidermy and truly creates some spectacular sculptures.
It allows us to see these kids in a different light. A lot of times we see them in their worst times, or we're around their families when someone's hurt or injured or in trouble and those types of things. So it allows us to have time with them that is all good.
And the team of Carson City first responders behind Coco with a Hero. Why this event is so important for the children of the capital city. You're watching 2+U Nevada. Thank you for joining us for this edition of 2+U Nevada. I'm Sarah Johns, your host. Did you see him? Oh my goodness, Nevada can be so very proud. We were represented by a 9-year-old at the nation's capital Christmas tree lighting last night. Virginia City's Grady Armstrong won an essay contest and gave a speech about the state of Nevada in front of the tree, and he flipped the switch. Simply put, he was amazing, which is why later in the show, we are going to play Grady's entire speech for you to hear. You don't want to miss it. It'll definitely get you in the holiday spirit and be Battle-born proud. We are thrilled to have you joining us today for 2+U Nevada. You are watching 2+U Nevada, and I am so excited to have Marcia Cuddy-Brazel here, the executive director of Got You Reno, and I am so proud of what you have done for our community in just a few years. Give us the history of Got You Reno.
It is a very short history. Actually, we are only 2.5 years old, and we just became the first furniture bank in the state of Nevada. So in 2.5 years, we have gone from being in my garage, which my husband kicked me out of not long after we started, to having a 5,000 square foot facility in South Reno.
So proud of you. You recently broke ground on that location. So we'll talk about that here in just a second. But I can speak from firsthand knowledge because I reached out to you through social media and actually did a delivery at your home.
Yes,
and
you
just
did.
Coming from the standpoint of, family, safety, security, etc. It's just amazing that you now have this location. So talk to me about how you sourced and got a physical brick and mortar space for Got You Reno, and tell me about your event when you cut the ribbon.
It was so exciting, and it took so much work. And I want to say thank you to all of our volunteers who made this happen. I could not do this without them. We are an all-volunteer agency, so anyone who wants to come and help, please call us. We would love the help. We have so many opportunities for people to volunteer. But we started off, as I said, in my garage. Then we moved into what I thought was going to be a few storage units. Then we went into one small warehouse and got a second small warehouse, and plus the storage units. So this summer was the culmination of getting an actual space that people could come to. So we took everything from 2 small warehouses and 14 offsite storage units and put it all into this 5,000 square foot new space that we have.
And this new space, you broke ground in early December. This new space is not only a place for you to store this space, but can people come to it and ask you for help?
They can, but there's a process. We work with referring agencies. Those can be other nonprofits. Those can be churches. Those can be the school district. Children's Cabinet gives us referrals. We work with 27 state, federal, and local agencies at this point. And if you are in need of furniture, in need of household items, please have your caseworker send over a referral to us, and we will get you in the process of it.
And in this 2.5 years, you have gone from just you to, you mentioned all these volunteers.
Yes.
Talk to me about how you started this village.
It is a village that is truly, truly built on love, because the people that have been with me the whole time, they would not be here if they did not love me. And I realize this because it is dirty sometimes. It's long hours. It's incredibly physical work sometimes, doing deliveries and loading trucks and all of those things. And I could not be more grateful to our volunteers.
So now we talk about what you do and how young you are, but why do you do it? What spurred it, and why I Got You Reno?
It started a long time ago. This was a long time in my brain thinking and percolating. A long, long time ago, back in 2004, I was a single mom raising my older children, and I did not have any help at that point. And I ran into some financial difficulties, as most single parents do. It's a very common thing. It's a hard, hard job. And our electricity got shut off over President's Day weekend. It was a long weekend. And quite honestly, I didn't have the money to pay Nevada Energy, or I think it was Nevada Power back then. But regardless, I didn't have the money anyway. So the one thing that saved us was this little house that I was renting at the time had a fireplace. And so my two older children and I pretended we were camping, and they were young enough to buy that we were camping this whole weekend. And they put our food outside so it wouldn't spoil. And in Nevada in February, there's no chance that's going to happen. So we spent the weekend camping, and it was literally so much fun. And they both remember it as a good experience. But when I went back to work after the long weekend, I asked my boss for a pay advance. And he said, okay. He said, but do you mind if I ask you, what you need it for? And I was really nervous about opening up to him, but he had always been very, very kind. So I did. I told him, our electricity got shut off and I just need to get caught up on some bills. And he said, okay. He said, I'm going to help you. This will be a one-time thing. And I said, okay. And later on, I found out that he told a friend of his, and that friend of his and this person's wife, were coming to the office quite normally, and we had seen each other in the halls, whatever. And so one day that week after work, he said, I would like to help you and your children. And I said, after they told me what they wanted to do, I said, I'm sorry, I can't accept that. I don't know when I can pay it back. And he said, no. He said, we don't want you to pay it back. We want you to be able to be okay and move forward. But when you get a chance, you need to pay it forward. And so here I am. I'm paying it forward. And
This is so beautiful.
and
What a beautiful story.
that person is still on my board. And I made sure to include him because I don't know what would have happened. He changed the trajectory of my life. He literally did. And all it takes is one person reaching out and just being kind and just offering what you have. It doesn't take a lot. It just takes a simple act of kindness, saying, is there something that I have that you could use? And it's not a handout. It was literally a hand up. And I am so eternally grateful for that, because it just gave us kind of a reset. And it was literally what we needed at that very second. And it was so perfect. And
Now look at what you are doing now.
I'm
Look
paying
at
it,
what you're
I'm
doing.
paying it forward, girl.
Oh my gosh. So if somebody wants to help you,
Yes.
oh my gosh, I am
I
like
know.
bawling. If somebody wants to help, I Got You Reno.
Yes.
What do they do? How do they get involved?
Okay. The first step is go to our website, please. Our voicemail gets full once to twice a day. You cannot even believe how much our phones are ringing, which is good. That gives us an opportunity to help more people. But go to our website. We have a contact button on our website that people can send in either a volunteer. They can tell us what kind of things they'd like to volunteer for. They can reach out to us with, hey, we have some furniture we'd like to donate, that kind of thing. We always need funding. Federal funding is very, very scarce, and it can be withdrawn at any given time, it seems. So funding is phenomenal, and anything helps. Anything helps. We take everything a household needs to be reset, from toasters and silverware to blankets and, bigger furniture like couches. And all we ask is that it's in clean condition. It's, it's ready to go on to its new home.
Marcia, thank you for everything that you do to serve community.
Thank you.
You're watching 2+U Nevada. You are watching 2+U Nevada. Very excited to be at Animal Artistry. Kathleen Boyce, thank you so much for hosting us this afternoon.
Welcome.
And then we have Kathleen, we have David, and we have Stuart to talk with us about the sculptures that you guys put together. And I really want to call them sculptures because you are a known taxidermist around the world, around the country. You have clientele everywhere, it seems. And you're right here in the heart of Reno. Absolutely love the art that we can see when we walk through here.
Thank you.
Talk to me about the history and how this animal artistry came to be.
Okay, well, my husband, Mike Boyce, started it in 1983. We started it in our garage, which the neighbors didn't appreciate. So we moved on to one small building and then eventually ended up in these buildings here on Terminal and Vassar. Mike, though, started out as a hunter at a very young age and was so enamored with wildlife, the outdoors, and his father is an artist. It all kind of evolved into a very unique taxidermy studio.
So Stuart, talk to me about the process, especially for local hunters, when they need to come, let's say they've got a really cool elk or something else that they've done locally.
Sure.
What's the process for them to get to you first?
Well, most of the time they just arrive at the building. I accept them into the building next door. And when they arrive, we check in the skin, inspect it, make sure it doesn't have any defects that we need to make them aware of that might cause a difficult mounting process. But through that process, we then get to know the client, get to know what they're looking for, where they plan to hang it, and from there, we continue to go forward.
It is very unique. And David, let's talk about the process because I walked through your, what do you call it, where everybody
Studio?
does the work?
Our home away from home.
Absolutely. And talk to me about the process because it's so interesting to see the mannequins and then how they turn into what looks like real life.
Once they go to the tannery, then they're going to come to me. These are then preserved tan skins that we can soak, we can stretch, and measure them. And then after talking with the client multiple times on what they want, where they want it, could be simple as a deer head on the wall or an entire scene with lions and hyenas. So some of them get very complex. Once I know what they want, I can then start measuring those skins, go through my catalogs, order mannequins that are somewhat close. Nothing ever fits, so it all has to be custom designed. Once it gets here, then we'll start laying it out. Simple things like deer heads are relatively easy to do, so several of the people here, they're all in different training stages of work here. So they'll begin as preppers and assistants and then move up into doing taxidermy, deer, antelope. After they've been here multiple years, sometimes even 10 or plus, they'll move on to the bigger predators, the bears, the lions and such.
So these are very specialized artists that we're talking about because you go from the mannequins and then you have the skin prep, then you have the sculptures, and then you have airbrush artists.
Yes, the airbrush artists will come in after the animal has been mounted and dried, sometimes for a week, sometimes for 6 weeks. They'll then take the animal and reproduce the soft modeling of the nose, the lip lines, the gums around the eyes, and maybe even the entire body if it's an African animal. So it has an extensive makeup session after the piece is done.
And it's so important too, I'm sorry to cut you off, it is so important too for people to understand that this taxidermy art is also educational. You know, we were talking that Michael did the very first Cabela's in the Midwest. And just taking my kids to see, let's say, for example, the local Shields or the local Cabela's, my kids love looking at these animals, and it's an educational component as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of took the place of, the bigger city museums from Chicago, Pittsburgh, where I'm from, and the Carnegie, that people used to go as a destination and see wildlife. Now it's all online, you have everything, but to actually see an animal and look at it. Cabela's actually became a new destination point for hunters all over the world and the general public going to see that. So it's an up close thing. Smaller venues like here, we just have a very small zoo. Not many kids actually go to that zoo, but they can go to Cabela's and see African elephants. They can see giraffe. We've worked on 2 different Cabela's stores, and they were quite fun to do. A lot of big projects that the normal person doesn't have in a room. But we're fortunate to have a lot of clients that have rooms bigger than this building. So they kind of give us carte blanche to do whatever we like. So it's whatever we can come up with.
Well, this is an absolutely beautiful location, and we were just talking about your art of taxidermy, but there's more art here at Vassar and Terminal. So we'll talk about that in another segment here on 2+ Nevada. But Kathleen, first of all, tell everybody how they contact you and where they should go to get more information.
We have a very extensive website, animalartistry.com. Gives you all kinds of information, but our phone number here, if you have any questions, want to bring something in for us, it's 775-323-0203. We're here Monday through Friday, 7 to 3:30.
Thank you all so much for hosting us.
Thank
You're watching 2+U Nevada.
You are watching 2+U Nevada, and oh my gosh, are we having fun with Carson City's best first responders. We have Daniel Gonzalez, Assistant Sheriff with the Carson City Sheriff's Office, Jessica Bogan, Marshal's Division of Carson City Courts, and we've got Brian Hunt, Captain of the Carson City Fire Department. We're all here to talk to us about an amazing event that you have going on tomorrow, this Friday, and it's at the Carson City Christmas tree lighting ceremony. You guys are having Cocoa with a Hero. Jessica, tell me how this all came about.
Well, the Cocoa with a Hero only started about 3 years ago. It's one of our main fundraisers for the Holiday with the Hero program. We have 2 booths at the Silver and Snowflakes Festival in Carson City, one at City Hall and one at McFadden Square outside of Firkin and Fox. And we're selling cocoa. All the benefits that we get, or the money that we get from that goes straight towards our Holiday with the Hero program.
And Daniel, tell me the funds that Jessica was just talking about, Holiday with a Hero, is that you guys will then buy gifts and hand those gifts out to children in need in Carson City?
So no, actually, we have a shopping event where I get like 200 of my closest friends to take heroes to take these kids shopping. So the Carson City School District is who we partner with. They get the kids for us, and our goal is to give each kid a $120 gift card so they can actually shop. We actually have other volunteers who wrap the gifts for the kids, so they have wrapped gifts to go home with.
That is so cool. Having seen those events in person, to see the joy that it brings these kids. Brian, talk to me about how important it is for you as first responders to be considered accessible to Carson City's youth.
Well, it's huge to us. It allows us to see these kids in a different light. A lot of times we see them in their worst times, or we're around their families when someone's hurt or injured or in trouble and those types of things. So it allows us to have time with them that is all good. And it's time that we can spend with these kids and show them that we are just the same as they are. We're just people too. Plus, just to have the time to watch them laugh, buy gifts for their siblings. So much of the time, we're shopping with these kids, but they're more worried about their families, and they're buying things for them. They're asking to buy basic needs. So it's just, it's an event everyone should go to, and just allowing us to have that time with them is important.
And when folks are there buying their cocoa with a hero, will you all be there?
Yes.
So what is Carson City going to look like for this event?
So yes, this is all hands on deck for us. This is our big fundraiser. This is where we all get together. So yes, we'll all be there selling in some way, prepping, pouring packets. We all hands on deck.
So now you are assistant sheriff, you're a marshal, you're a fire captain, but I can tell you guys are family, and that's what Carson City is all about, right? Like, you all are very tight-knit, and the community itself is tight-knit. So the community will come out and support you guys, right?
Absolutely. The community has always been a huge supporter of us. We've been doing this program for 21 years, and without the community and their support, we wouldn't be able to do it. So we're very fortunate that we've got a really great community in Carson City.
So how much is the cocoa?
$2. $2 a cup.
Pretty darn good, but that's a lot of cocoa that you got to sell.
It's a great deal, but you get to see us.
Yeah.
And it's good
The comedy show.
It is a comedy show, let me tell you. What you have not seen is very fun. But that's also really important too, right? For people to see that you are human, that you're fun and you can joke and you are approachable. That is so important for people. Maybe not the firefighters. Everybody likes the firefighter, right? But for you two up front, making you guys more approachable, right?
Well, it's true. I mean, we've got kids year after year that they'll come up to us in the community and they're like, I remember you. You shopped with me in 2012, or you shopped with me, or this year and this year, and they remember us, which is really, really great.
And if I could expand on that, Brian alluded on it, touched about this, but we tend to see people on their worst day. Mm-hmm. We try to give them that good day, and that's where we do join together. Mm-hmm. It's all hands. It takes all the fire department, the marshal's office. I mean, there's so many other agencies. We could go on and on. The military, National Guard,
Forestry Service.
It takes everybody. So it's not just us.
Yeah, and then not just the kids, like you alluded to, Brian, these kids are buying for their families too. So the families are so appreciative. Like, I know the intent is for the kids to be buying just for them, but you see those kids buying for their family and their friends.
We do. We do.
A lot of them, it's for younger siblings. My 2-year-old sister, my, 3-year-old cousin, my mom, my dad. It's for family members. A lot of the kids do that, which is really great to see because we're there for them and we encourage them to buy for them, but they're insistent on buying for family members.
It's so sweet. Okay, so this is the 4th annual as part of the Silver and Snowflakes Festival. Friday, it begins at 4:30. You guys are going to start the cocoa at 4:30, but the Christmas tree lighting is later in the evening.
Yes.
Okay, and again, Jessica, the 2 locations for cocoa?
City Hall at the corner of Carson and Musser, and McFadden Square right outside Perkin and Fox.
Thank you so much for all that you do. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
You're watching 2+U Nevada. You are watching 2+U Nevada, and joining us this afternoon, Clay Hall with Win Speaker Series. Thank you so much for joining us.
Pleasure to be here.
Oh my gosh. So Win has been around forever. How many
Forever.
years?
Like 57, 58, started in 1968.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
almost as old as me.
And throughout the years, Win has done such a phenomenal job in growing with the community and elevating itself. And what I love about Win Speaker Series is once a month you bring in a speaker who's so motivational and really gets people jazzed. What kind of speakers do you look for?
Well, we look for people that are either going to have some type of business message, some type of motivational message, or something really practical that you can take away and implement like that day in your business or in your personal life.
And I can speak to this because I attend Win events, and every time I leave, it's like I've got this list of, I want to implement this. Oh, I want to do this, whether it be personal or professional. It really gets you amped to do better.
Absolutely, yeah. And we've had some great speakers from outside the area who, they do different things, right? There'll be maybe an experiential thing. We all stand up and we have to look at somebody and have that uncomfortable moment, right? Which is great because it leads to growth. So there's a lot of great topics and a lot of diversity too among the things we talk about.
And this Friday, you have a speaker who's super cool. And by the way, these are breakfast events.
They're breakfast events.
Go to them.
Yep.
You can go to them before work, and you've got that motivation, that Friday fun-filled, thought process. But this Friday, who are you bringing in?
So we're bringing in Connor Fields. He's a 3-time Olympian. He is a really incredible guy. He first went to the Olympics in London when he was 19, and pretty confident guy, right? And finished out, didn't medal. And then he came back in the next Olympics and won a medal and won the gold medal. And when he could have settled for the silver, but he went for gold and he won. And then he went to the Olympics in Tokyo, which was delayed a year by the COVID pandemic. And he suffered a serious brain injury, actually 4 serious brain injuries, and that was his Olympic career done, right? BMX rider. And so now he coaches BMX. He is a motivational speaker. Obviously, we're bringing him in. And so his story is really a story of resilience. And so I'm excited to see him. Yeah.
Yeah. And to hear from someone who's been at the top, who gets that gold to traumatic brain injury and your career is done.
Right.
I mean, that's a massive fall.
Well, it's hard, right? Because you're used to the spotlight.
Yeah.
Right. And the adulation. And now you're fighting for your life. And that's different. But he's competitive, right? And so he tells that story.
That's super cool. So do you have to be a member of WIN to attend these breakfasts? How does that work?
Yeah, so you don't have to. We prefer it, but you don't have to be a member. You can register on our website. You can come as a guest. You can be invited by somebody as a guest as well. But you don't have to be a member.
And the best way I find, if you aren't a member of WIN, is to find somebody who is a member of WIN, have them bring you as a guest, because then you get introduced to the crowd. So if you're in that networking realm as well, and you want people to know who you are, what you do, that is a really good way to get in. And WIN has such a great membership that I'm sure you'll find a member out there.
Oh, for sure, yeah. And we do offer that, so you get introduced at the beginning, so everybody gets eyes on you, and you get to say, hey, they talk about your company a little bit. And then the other thing that we do is we also network at the tables. So you get a chance to meet the people at the table, because a lot of times you go to these breakfast meetings and, oh, hey, Sarah, hi, Clay, and then that's kind of it.
Right.
Right. But here you really see people exchanging business cards and ideas and different things. And then you get to know them, and you see them the next time at a meeting. You're like, oh, hey, I remember you.
Yeah.
It's kind of a cool
Well,
thing.
and really and truly, WIN is how we got to know each other.
Absolutely.
Now here we are on TV together.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you never know what you're going to, what kind of relationship you're going to build at an event. But your speakers are really spot on, and they are high level, and they aren't really local speakers. You bring them in.
Yeah, we do 10 events a year. We do look for people outside the area. We'll do 1 or 2 a year that maybe we have a local panel. We had the university folks come down, President Sandoval was there and so forth. But typically, we look for people outside the area so people don't think like, oh, I've already seen that person speak.
Yeah. Well, Clay, thank you so much. For people to get more information on being a member, or to see what speakers you have coming in at future events, where do they go?
They can go to winspeakerseries.com, and they can read about our events, and they can also register to come to Friday's event.
Awesome. Clay, thank you so much for joining us today. You're watching 2+U Nevada. You are watching 2+U Nevada. So excited to have my dear friend Cherie Butler here, the Executive Director of the Reno Rodeo Foundation. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh my goodness, thank you for having me.
So obviously the Reno Rodeo Foundation is the foundation, the 501c3 outside of the Reno Rodeo, wildest, richest rodeo in the West, everybody knows.
Yes.
But in November, you have one of your massive events called the Denim Drive.
Yes. And the Denim Drive is all about supporting foster children in our community. And it's all from November 1st to December 31st, we recruit companies to have a sponsorship or to have a box at their location where we can have the community come and drop off brand new items. And that is anything that a child would need. It is called a denim drive, but we don't just accept jeans. We did in the beginning, but now we do. We accept everything for them, from socks, underwear, pants, sweats, sweatshirts, t-shirts. If you think of
really and
kids,
truly, these clothes are going to children who have been rescued from unsafe homes and have been placed into an emergency foster home with only the clothes on their backs.
Yes, exactly. And so what we like to do is provide them brand new items that they're able to take and just feel like, okay, I have a little something that is mine and it's new. And so we also collect money during that time period. And what's important for everyone to know is that that money goes directly into purchasing cards that the caseworkers take those children right when they take them out of their home and get them everything they need.
Wow.
So a lot of times they only have the clothes on their back. And so all throughout the year, these caseworkers, whenever they get that child in, they're able to take them and get them underwear, socks, jeans that they want to pick out, clothes that they want to pick out, shoes that they want to pick out, and hygiene items.
Hygiene items. You know, you and I were talking about this, and I really want to bring this up as an idea for anyone who's going to go out and purchase clothing expressly for this event is period panties.
Yeah.
You know, not a lot of people think about period poverty out there, and for the tween girls who are getting rescued, you know, period panties are a big deal. So I would just consider, you know, anybody picking those up.
Yep, absolutely. Those are the things, you know, when you look at a child, and we have, you know, babies from 0 all the way up to 18-year-olds. And so when you think about that, we're collecting everything that they could possibly need. And we love to be able to give them that so that they are able to use it and just kind of feel like there's just a little bit of normalcy. And we've had several of our board members who were foster children, and we were lucky enough for them to tell us their stories so that we could understand what these kids really need. And what really will make them feel like they're cared for and loved, because at that moment they don't feel that way.
Right.
You know, they don't, and they really feel like, and a lot of times, you know, especially the older kids, they still aren't placed. Maybe they're not placed in an adoptive family or a foster family right off the bat. And so giving them just something that says the community loves you. We love you. We want you to feel like you have normal clothes. We want you to feel comfortable going to school. We want you to have all of those things.
Well, and those are the kids too that we really need to focus on as well, because that's that time in their life when they're in middle school, high school. It's not always the kindest time of life. And then your home life is in upheaval. You know, this is really the time for us to be thinking of them.
Exactly. And, you know, and just, you think also, you know, about how much clothes it takes to have, you know, for the babies, and, you know, they change every 3 months, you know, if not before then, and formula, diapers, all of those things that it takes to raise a child. We want to support our foster families in that and be able to provide them just a little extra so that they don't have to stress out over that.
Okay, so in the month of November, this is happening all November, but in the month of November, is it too late for a business to say, hey, we want a bin, we want to be a donation spot?
No, not at all. We accept new businesses all the way through. So it's all the way November and December. So both months we do this, and we accept businesses throughout the whole entire month. And if anyone in our community wants to do a dine to donate, that's a local restaurant or eatery, or wants to hold an event for us, Nevada Museum of Art is going to have a special bin for us at their hands on second Saturdays.
Wow.
So anything that a business wants to do to help support this program, we are all about it.
Okay, so for more information on the Reno Rodeo Foundation, volunteering for Team 355, and for locations of Denim Drive drop-offs, where do people go?
RenoRodeoFoundation.org.
Cherie Butler.
Super easy.
Thank you so much for joining us this
Thank
afternoon.
you.
You're watching 2+U Nevada.
This year, there's a very special place of honor for the state of Nevada in the Capitol. The Capitol Christmas tree, named Silver Bell, is a 53-foot red fir harvested from the Humboldt-Toyabe National Forest off of Mount Rose Highway. Even more special, the lighting of Silver Bell. A local fourth grader, Grady Armstrong, lit the tree on the Capitol steps. Grady won an essay contest and spoke at the event. We take a look at his speech in its entirety, and he's introduced by Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson.
This is his first trip to Washington, D.C. He's 9 years old. He is a gifted young writer. He won this year's Capitol Christmas Tree Essay Contest among the hundreds of participants, as we heard. I'm also told, and this is not hyperbole, okay, what went into this essay was literal blood, sweat, and tears. Isn't that true? Grady, I heard you cut your pinky while writing this. Isn't that true? Yes. Okay. So we want to thank you for your sacrifice, young man, and for your great talent that you're sharing with us. And I can assure everyone his painstaking work was well worth our wait. So Grady, my dad was a firefighter also, and we got a lot in common, almost even our height, my friend. But we're going to bring you a podium here, so you can, our little stand, and we can stand on it. Is it under here? It'll help a little bit. Grady, everybody, here we go.
Thank you, Speaker Johnson, and hi, my name is Grady Armstrong, and I am 9 years old in the 4th grade at Hugh Gallagher Elementary School in Virginia City, Nevada. My grandpa worked at Mount Rose Ski Area for nearly 50 years, and my dad is a firefighter at Lake Tahoe. My mom is a teacher right here in Virginia City. They have shown me the love for the forest, nature, and the outdoors. I want the country to know how special Nevada's public land and national forests are. These lands are full of wonder, from big animals like elk, mule deer, bighorn sheep, and even moose, to smaller animals like fish, lizards, and birds. Hiking with my family, I have seen water bubble out of the earth in places that look super dry. These springs give life to so many plants and animals. Sometimes you can find arrowheads near these springs, a reminder of the life they gave tribes that lived off the land. We also love seeing ancient petroglyphs carved into rocks by people who lived here long ago. My favorite wilderness areas are Mount Rose and Arc Dome. We've also visited the Sheldon Antelope Refuge and the Massacre Rim Dark Sky Sanctuary, where the night sky is so dark you can see millions of stars. One of my favorite things to do is when our family takes what my mom and dad like to call Nevada highways, which are nothing more than dirt roads in the middle of nowhere. We've found ghost towns, abandoned mines, and the most amazing untouched landscapes. You don't have to go far to enjoy Nevada. Right from my school playground, you can look east for hundreds of miles over the mountain ranges that make up the Humboldt-Tiobe National Forest. Last month, we went to the top of Mount Davidson and watched the sunset over the Sierras, and at the same time howled at the full moon as it rose over the Nevada landscape. Nevada is not just a desert, it's full of life, history, and beauty, and I think everyone should know how important it is to protect and enjoy these amazing places. Thank you, and Merry Christmas.
That's awesome. All right. Now, that was amazing. You are a tremendous ambassador for Nevada, and also you have a future as a speechwriter here on Capitol Hill, okay? We always need improvement in the comm shop, so you can come help us, okay? Okay. I want to invite the Nevada congressional delegation and Lieutenant Governor Anthony and Mr. Austin and Chief Schultz for the lighting of the tree. Y'all join us up here.
Put your jacket on now.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Okay, there you go, young man.
Beautiful.
Isn't that great?
Oh, she's
Well,
Thank you. There we go.
now, Grady's going to do the honors for us, and everyone can count down with us. We're going to count down from 5. Okay, ready, everybody? All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There you go.
Grady, you make your family proud, you make this community proud, and you make Nevada proud. You represent so accurately the spirit of the Silver State. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Are you a business or nonprofit and want to be featured on 2+U Nevada? Have a Mom to Mom Monday, a Tried It Tuesday, or even a cute pic you just want to show us? The whole point of 2+U Nevada is the plus you. You can send us your content by visiting our website. Head to 2news.com and click on 2+U Nevada. Or you can email us at 2+UNevada@ktvn.com. For anyone who doesn't have or use their wood-burning fireplace, Netflix has released 3 themed Yule log streams for the holidays. Each hour-long stream includes Easter eggs, a music bed, and various surprises for viewers. And get this, the scores, not your typical holiday music. Fans can choose between a fire crackling in the front room of the Byers house from Stranger Things, a roaring fireplace in Principal Weem's office at Nevermore Academy from Wednesday, or a glowing pink fire inside Guima's underworld lair from K-pop Demon Hunters. And you still have time to run out and get a Powerball ticket. The jackpot is $775 million. A cash option for a winning ticket will earn more than $362 million. No one had all the numbers right in Monday night's drawing, but 3 tickets in California, Georgia, and Illinois were each worth $1 million apiece. The next drawing is this evening at 7:59. You'll need that cash to even consider an auction like this. One of the last Imperial Fabergé eggs in private hands sold for more than $30 million at auction in London yesterday. The winter egg, commissioned by Tsar Nicholas II in 1913, sparked a brief bidding war at Christie's before going to an anonymous buyer for $30.2 million. Its sky-high price underscores the growing scarcity of Fabergé's Imperial eggs. Only 50 were ever made, and just 7 remain in private hands. This particular piece is made of clear quartz and covered in 4,500 diamonds. It was designed to resemble a block of ice, complete with one of Fabergé's signature surprises inside, a tiny basket of jeweled flowers. That is our show this afternoon. Thank you for inviting us into your home. We look forward to joining you each weekday at 3 for 2+U Nevada. 2 News Nevada at 4 starts now.